agenda before you. And there will be changes or additions.
Move executive session up.
Move executive session up.
Ahead of 6.
Ahead of 6. Any objections? If it's all right, we'd also move that public comment section up before the executive session. Okay, Jim, you put that on the motion? Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other comments? Not call for the question. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
That also moves the public comment up too.
Yes.
Okay. We'll move public comment.
Okay, that's going to be before executive session.
All right, the minutes. And I think we've got the ones for March, for February meeting, but we didn't have a complete list last time, I think, so.
Right, we didn't have a back printed previously, so we need to approve it with the back also. That's really what was missing. I will resubmit that.
Okay. Have minutes for the February 26th and the March 11th meeting. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion, Mr. Lightler, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Call for the question. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Mr. Humphrey?
Okay, under superintendent's information, we have the PIC spotlight, that's parent involvement coordinator spotlight, and Ms. Carol. What we have is a House resolution that Representative Jason Shaw had approved, and he's going to present that to her later this week. He had to go back to Atlanta this evening, and I spoke with him, so he's going to come present that to her later in the week. After that, we have some FCCLA students who have made us proud again. Ms. Ortiz, if you would, there you are. Usher, we'll let Ms. Ortiz talk about it. She usually has them talk about it. And we'll present some certificates.
We have, I think, 20 children competed in region, and out of 20, 9 made it to state, and at state 2 made it to nationals. Tonight I have 4 of them that are here, and they will tell you a little bit of what they competed in, what their project was, and what they won. Nicholas?
Good evening. My name is Nicholas Lanier. I competed in life event planning, and we had our annual Christmas party, and we adopted a family at the Christmas party. And we just want to say thank y'all for y'all support.
Hi, my name is Alexis Clark, and I did mine on event coordination. Basically what I did was host events like weddings and parties and stuff like that, and I created a website, and I was in 3rd place in state, and I got a $500 scholarship to Johnson & Wales.
Hi, my name is Catherine Court. I did mine on applied technology. I told my judges about how teens in the driver's seat are distracted and all the things that can distract you. I won gold at state, and I'm advancing to nationals in Nashville, Tennessee, and I have a $1,000 scholarship to Johnson & Wales.
Hi, my name is Brittany Linfay. I competed in interpersonal communication about teaching children how to say no to peer pressure. I received silver at state competition in the category that I was chosen for, in which I did a project to teach all my students. Being I ranked the highest in my category, I will be competing at the national level in Nashville, Tennessee, where I will not only be representing Lanier County, but also the state of Georgia.
Brittany is also running for region officer.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity to come here and do this.
We also received honorable with distinction. Only 11 schools received this in the state of Georgia. What we had to do is we had to create a notebook with all the activities that we have done. And this could not have been possible if we didn't have the support from our school system and from the board. Because you get points for everything that you do. Like we go to the Capitol and we meet Jason Shaw. The kids have the opportunity to visit the house and he shows them how bills are made. They went to officers training where the state had a whole day where they learned leadership activities. We have to prove how many articles we put in the newspaper. The kids have to do national programs. I had 10 who finish it. You get like 2 points for each child that finish it. So in the end, we had like 289 points, and we got honorable with distinction, which is one of the highest honors that you can get in the state of Georgia. And I also would like to thank the board for supporting us, and Mr. Humphrey and Mr. Culpepper, because without the support, this would not be possible.
Thank you. We have several students that are not here. We'll let you take those back.
Ms. Watley, did you take after your mother or your father?
Don't answer that.
You're a smart young man.
Excellent.
Lexi, congratulations.
What's the date of that?
Brittany,
July the 7th through the 11th. And we're going to Nashville, Tennessee.
Cole, Ms. Cole.
I think that's it. Oh, there she is.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
She didn't share that with my junior senior driver for prom, don't she?
I asked her to do
Good.
something this week because we have a big banner hanging in school. What she did is she brought it to all her classmates and she sat in the cafeteria and they handed out suckers, dum-dums if you didn't wear your seat belt, and Smarties if you did wear your seat belt. And she did a PowerPoint, she created brochures. She just presented it to the judges, but she did her program in school.
Good.
Guess we'll see if I give you these to carry back. Congratulations all of you again.
Thank y'all.
Now I'd like for Ms. Ham, last month we shared some information on writing scores. We've gotten back some information on the 7th grade test, but we actually had 8th grade writing test scores, and ask her to share a little bit about that.
I'll let you pass those out. I just have something for you to view. We were very pleased when we got our writing results back. I have Miss Clifford here tonight too because I certainly can't take credit for this. I'm just here to share the good news. We have come a long way in 3 years with our writing results, as you can see. For the system, what you'll see at the top in the chart is are the results from the RESA, and Lanier County Middle School is currently 5th. We have come a long way from 10th last year. So we're up to 5th, and if you look at the exceeds category, we had 9.4% of our students to exceed. That's a first for us. We have had none of our students to exceed in the past. So this is a huge increase for us. Large part of this growth is due to some professional learning that we've had over the summer, and part of it is from a mock assessment that we have been incorporating over the past 2 years so that we've been able to see where the weaknesses are within our students and have been able to address those. I can't say enough about the work that our teachers have done, not just in our language arts department, but school-wide. Our science teachers, our math teachers, everyone is incorporating writing skills. Ms. Clifford and Ms. Gaither have done just a phenomenal job in making sure that our students have everything that they need to be prepared for the 8th grade assessment. Just the value, again, of the mock assessment, we had from last year to this year there were 18 students who did not meet last year on the mock assessment who passed this year. And actually one of them did not meet last year and actually exceeded this year. So that just goes to show the growth that students can make within 1 year. But we are very pleased with the growth and are very proud of what our students have been able to accomplish in the last 3 years with our writing results.
And those exceeds, actually, that's the highest of all those in our RESA
Yes,
district.
first in the RESA for exceeds.
First in our RESA district of 12 systems. So congratulations to you, Ms. Clifford. And
If I could just say something, and I'm a little bit hoarse. Mrs. Ham has worked with us consistently and supportively to find a writing program that will work. And this past year, she came to us and said, I know what we're going to do. I've got a plan. And basically what Mrs. Gaither and I did, and all of the teachers, we implemented her plan. And it was her plan, and she was the one who made sure that we got the training that we needed. And also, Miss Kathy got us all the supplies that we needed, because it was a very specific plan. You had to have, you know, a notebook, and it had to be organized like this. You had to have highlighters, and I did not spend a single penny of my own money implementing this plan, and I'm so grateful for all the supplies, because I've worked at a lot of different schools all across the United States, and I had kind of gotten used to the fact that I was going to have to buy my own supplies. And when those supplies were provided for me, I was so grateful, because it's a lot easier to do your job when you are given the supplies that you need to do your job. And for that, I want to thank Mrs. Ham and the board, and Miss Kathy too.
Thank you again.
thank you very much.
Move to 5 action items, and there's a board policy. Is this one that we set on?
No, it's already on the table.
Sorry, on the table. We've had a chance to review that for a month. About all 3 of those policies. Same one.
Can I ask a question here?
Sure.
Have we got people already trained on physical restraint in this school?
Just recently.
We had some training a couple of years ago, and we just renewed the training of our, I think there's a couple at each school. Kevin Moore was sent to the training. We realized we have a need, and now we will be able to continue to do that year to year. He'll have to go back and get trained again each year. So
It's not only our principal and assistant principals, is it regular teachers who you train too?
I'm not sure of the entire list. I'm seeing some nods. It's okay.
Assistant
Some
principal,
teachers too.
teacher, para at the primary.
Okay. And we tried to hit the greatest needs first.
This is a pleasure, board. We take all 3 of these policies together. Chair to entertain a motion to approve.
So,
A motion, motion and a second by Mr. Sermons. Any further discussion? Now we'll call for the question. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? D is a middle school field trip. Since I have a middle schooler, I'm gonna check to see where this is going.
Progress. There's Alice.
And all right. Chair to entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion to approve the field trip. Mr. Lanier, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Sermons, any further discussion? Call for the question, all those in favor, aye? Opposed? Thank you. E is a policy.
That's the total revision of the policies that we have online.
Okay. I think we discussed this in the work session.
Yeah, we did. We discussed in the work session, but it actually has to be approved and signed by you if we're going to do this.
Okay. E, the policy manual agreement. We discussed this in the work session, and it's working with GSBA to review all of our policies. And of course, keep in mind any changes or any revisions to those policies first come to the board for our approval. But they'll go through them. There may be some we need to consolidate, some we may need to eliminate altogether. But I think we haven't done a complete policy review in
About
10 or 12 years. So, and we're going to split this cost into 2 fiscal years, so it's not all in 1 year.
This does not affect us, Mr. Patton, going ahead and adopting some new policies, does it?
You know, it doesn't.
Okay. The other thing is, it says, however, you need to consider whether or not the presence of board members may require meetings with your policy manual review team to be in compliance with open meetings act. So if we want to attend these, is it going to be designated as a board meeting? Is that what this is saying?
There are certain sections that, when the section is just about school board operations, then they're going to want board participation, and if it's enough to make a quorum, then it would have to be posted as open meeting records, an open meeting, and we would comply with that, posted like all our meetings.
How often will a policy review team come?
This particular agreement will take several months to do. Depending on how much time we can put into it, they'll come and meet with us and put up a timetable for us to see how often we can meet. But it's a several month process because it's very lengthy, our policy manual, of course, and they do a thorough job. So that's going to depend, but it's going to take several months, and we will be probably approving those in sections, approving those policies in the different sections as we see them now in our policy manual when we go on online. Take a look at it.
Where will they come out of?
Us, the Georgia School Board Association.
But it says we'll be responsible for the travel.
Oh, they'll be coming probably, I'm not sure who they're going to send, but probably from, it's a group really from Harvard and Hartley that does it. But we get the reduced amount. If you go through Harvard and Hartley, it's $30,000. If we go through GSBA, it's $10,500. But they use the same people. We just get the discounted rate because we're already members, have a membership with them and have our policies online. That's why we can do it that way. So it will be somebody coming from there, I believe they're in Hawkinsville.
Are we an e-board or are we just?
Yes.
E-board?
Right, all of our policies are online.
Any more questions? Chair to entertain a motion to approve the contract with GSBA on policy reviews.
So moved.
Have a motion, Mr. Sermon, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Strickland. Any further discussion? Not, we'll call for the question. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? All right, thank you. F is the FY14 school calendar. Your review, Mr. Humphrey.
This has been shared with all the staff and they were allowed to vote. There were different proposals, and this is the one that the schools overwhelmingly supported, so I recommend this calendar for next school year.
Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Locklear, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Sermons. Any discussion? Not, we'll call for the question. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'd like to note that we're not having any furlough days for next year either. So that's good to be able to maintain that for another year.
Okay. G is the supplement, coaching supplement schedules. And there's a proposal for a change in this, Mr. Humphrey.
Right. What you see, you have one page that has high school supplements on the left as they have been as we've been applying, and on the right, what we proposed. Coach Johnson brought this to me, Mr. Culpepper, and we talked about it. I've also gone over with Mr. Bennett. I recommend, based on what they've shared with me, that we go with this new proposal.
From a dollar standpoint, are we talking more money or less money? Or?
It could be a couple thousand more, but it's negligible with our total budget. We're basically eliminating assistant coaches at middle school. We don't think that they're necessary, and we combine, as you see, some middle and high school as far as track. With one supplement cover all that. One person can handle both high school and middle school. So really, we're just kind of changing the focus.
We're really not talking about any more dollars to speak of.
No.
Well, the proposed is to go into which column? I mean,
That will just be our supplement.
You'll be doing away
You'll
with.
take out
We'll
the
be
years
doing
service?
away all the years, and we'll have a supplement. Now we hire somebody, instead of trying to figure years here and there, and where they land, and, then we'll just have a supplement for that sport. It's kind of simpler, and I know that Mr. Bennett will tell you, it kind of cleans it up, makes it a lot easier as far as once we put things on contracts, figuring out where people are at.
What about your competitive cheerleading? Where will that fall?
That's on the high school athletic. The supplement there is as you see it. It's kind of.
Football and basketball.
Under
Cheer.
Yeah, there's, it says cheer, football and cheer basketball.
But competitive cheerleading, is that gonna be?
That's the same.
You're gonna make that the same thing?
The football cheerleading squad is the same competitive squad.
That's gonna be where the competitive squad will cheer.
Yes, that's during football season.
Okay. Where, on the middle school supplements, weren't your, one of your head coaches is a parapro? What, will they need an assistant on them then?
Right, we'll not necessarily have an assistant, but we'll have a certified person that will be there at the game, so you'll have to have a certified person there.
Will we have to pay them?
No. It will be a game administrator or the athletic director.
How about on traveling?
Traveling,
Away games.
someone will have to be on the bus with them.
That's why
A lot of times we have drivers, that's why we have a lot of drivers get their CDs. But, we have a lot of coaches that are willing to drive, but we'll have to have that covered. I know Coach Johnson, you see him nodding there, he's got that covered.
Strength and conditioning, when do they work?
That would be a year-round position. They'll start the day after Memorial Day. That Tuesday, we'll have the all male athletes come in between 8 and 11 in the morning. And then we're going to start with the females for 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so we'll come in after that. And then that will also be a year-round position in which if anybody's not in weights, male or female, during the school day, they'll come after school and work on strength and conditioning.
This is not just only for football.
No,
This
this is for all sports, male and female, middle school and high
So
school.
if a basketball coach sends you somebody who's not playing football, we'll have somebody there to.
We're going to have everybody there this summer. We're encouraging everybody to show
I'm
up.
talking about during the school year, when you're in football practice and you got a basketball coach who won't continue a girl or a boy to.
Well, he would actually, the proposed strength and conditioning coach is a football coach, so that would be the one season where we wouldn't have anybody there after school. The weight room would be open, but he would actually be at football practice. But that would be his second sport that he would be coaching, would be the strength and conditioning. So during the winter and the spring, he would not be coaching the second sport. He would be running the weight room as well as all summer as well.
This is an all or nothing proposal, saying, okay, all or nothing.
As presented this week.
I'll see you put tennis back in here.
We'll try to start it back. There's an interest to have tennis. We're going to try to combine it middle school and high school, just as we are other non-revenue sports such as track. Trying to combine those, under one person. Our track would actually be 2 people. We'll have a boys coach and a girls coach. That will be middle school and high school. Several of the schools that we compete against in this region, Irwin County for one, their track team is middle school and high school. And when they compete, they have middle school events and high school. So we're trying to increase those numbers in these non-revenue sports. And by combining middle school and high school, we're going to try to get up to par with other people in our region.
You just told me a few minutes ago that track is an area sport. Is tennis an area sport, or is there a region sport?
It's an area right now.
It's an area. How about, have you had any interest in soccer?
Haven't had any interest in soccer yet.
Any further discussion?
Franklin, about, I don't know, I guess it was 6 months ago, I went back and looked at my notes, and Priscilla Studebaker and Daphne Gore came and spoke about wanting a raise for parapros, because they're barely making ends meet. And here we are now talking about adding on supplements, and I love sport. I love sport as good as anybody does. I just left a Little League baseball game, which y'all can see by what I'm wearing. I don't think it's the right thing to do right now in this economy, is what I think. And I move to table it until we have a little bit more time. These numbers, the way they look compared to the first column to the last column, there's probably more than $5,000. I understand you're eliminating some positions, but at the same time, that's much money. And we got folks out there that haven't told in a lot. I just want to state that. I've got concerns. But don't take away from my love for football or basketball or baseball, whatever it may be.
The total difference, I think, probably helped me, and then you looked at it, is how much?
I added up all the supplements on the far right-hand column, and that come up to about 94.5, and then I put each of the other ones where we had who would be in those positions, and it was like 92. So we're talking about $2,500, overall increase, and some of those, will change slightly depending on who's in those positions, but that's the dollars that we're talking about going from this. It's hard to realize it until you actually sit down, but we went from about 46 supplements down to about 36, I believe. I've got the tape on my desk, so we eliminated a lot of them. So it was something that Coach Johnson thought would be easier to administer, and it will, because now, you know, we have, if you coach this, you get this. It doesn't matter, you know, some coaches want the top supplement, but they hadn't been a head coach for 9 years. They've coached football for 20 years, but you know, it's how long you've been in that position. So it's, you know.
So you're saying this year we were at about 92,000?
On the first 4 columns.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Throughout what we got coaching.
Right.
And the proposal is just 2,500 more.
Right.
And then
But what you would eliminate is any movement going forward, right?
Right,
As far
it's-
as moving from one.
Right. You're
Year
just,
service
you're
to another,
fixed,
whatever.
you know, right.
Currently, it can change from year to year.
when was this last revised? Supplements, athletic supplements? Before my time.
I believe it would have been 2008 or 2009.
Then the assistants, like the softball assistant coach, he's just gonna come out there and work for free. It says 0.
I have to defer that question to the athletics director. The middle school,
There will be no middle school
There won't be no middle school
assistants
anywhere.
unless that sport wants to pay for a middle school coach out of their budget.
Same thing for tennis and track, golf.
That would be, well, those are combined, middle school and high school will be combined with the track and the tennis. Biggest reason behind it, we have middle school coaches who are making more than varsity assistant coaches based on years of experience. And just the nature of, you know, both schedules, you've got people working twice as hard at the varsity level than you do the middle school, just for the time you put in. I'll give you one example, without naming names. There was a varsity assistant football coach on staff last year that made $1,500, and the head middle school football coach making $3,000. And that's, I don't know of anywhere else that does that, so we're just trying to, you know, restructure, you know, the overall athletic coaching supplement budget to, you know, compensate people for their work and their hours.
Okay.
Athletic supplements, I'm new to the game, guys. Athletic supplements comes from our own pot, not from any other thing.
right,
That's right.
it's very local.
JJ has made a motion for, did you have a motion, JJ?
I wanted to table it to give us some more time to look at it. I understand what Charlie's saying. 92 versus 94.5.
Is that a motion or just discussion?
What I was discussing, I'm taking a motion. I can motion table it. I'll go ahead and do that. I motion table it. Supplements, athletic supplements.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it because I think we need to look at it. I mean, I don't know how soon you need this done.
I know everything is, we're trying to get contracts ready.
Exactly.
That was why we're hopefully, you know, gonna get it, passed tonight, because we need to know, but, you know, we table it, we'll pick it up next month.
Yeah, we can go ahead and run the contracts for the ones that are approved on the other part of the agenda, and then these, the ones, you know, we can, it's just whenever y'all can get back together, let us know. We can get you whatever information you need to review it.
I don't wanna lose coaches that we got in place either. Or
I guess I need to
ones that we got
understand
coming.
too, are we asking that Coach Johnson come up with another proposal, or y'all just want more time to look at this, or?
Can I ask a question that might clear up some of that extra money in the new proposal? You have included tennis and the weightlifting or the powerlifting around the whole year as two supplements. Those two supplements don't currently, we have a tennis supplement, but we don't have a tennis coach currently. So if that was included in your numbers, that would account for some of that increase.
Yeah.
Because we're not currently paying anybody to do tennis or powerlifting at all.
That's $3,500.
There's no strength and conditioning supplement being paid right now either.
No.
No, there's none of that being paid currently.
So with those standing, we're still on a motion and a second, or?
I call for a question on that motion.
Okay. Call for question. Motion to table, all those in favor? Opposed?
No.
It is tabled. All right, next there is a recommendation for the purchase of a bus. Mr. Humphrey?
Right, Mr. Bennett put together these proposals, and even though Bluebird is $166 higher, we recommend going with that because I think of just their reliability and kind of the way our fleet is set up now. And they've gone and looked at this particular bus, I believe
Yes.
you and Mike. Buses are expensive. This is actually a bus that will be used for special education children. We have so many we've grown that we have a need, and we've been using our spare bus, and it's just not going to hold up. We need for that spare to be a spare, and we certainly didn't want to have to put this in the budget, but it's just a necessary thing to do. At $96,104, we recommend the Bluebird.
And the state will pick up some of this expense.
We haven't heard. They were waiting on the legislature to finish up and see who was going to be approved for some bond buses. I've been in contact with our state transportation consultant, and I've made a request that we be told as soon as possible, and that we have a need that is beyond the need of your normal route bus replacement. You know, our population has grown to the point that we don't have the capacity without doubling these routes and you know, going on longer than a 2-hour route to handle this capacity. So I'm in negotiation with them, but I can't tell you right now definitively. And I had talked to Mr. Humphrey, and I told him, you know, me as the budget person does not want to put this in there because it's a lot of money, but due to the population, it's just reached the point where we have to have this other bus.
By purchasing the bus, it's not gonna take away from them seeing how great our need is with it.
No.
They say, well, they bought it, so they'll put our money in.
No, we're gonna get that bond bus, and that would be, you know, based on how many buses we have in our fleet, our student population, and that sort of thing. I'm trying to get them to, you know, give us the benefit of the doubt if there's even a question. Because year before last, we got a bond bus. Matter of fact, the year before that we did. This fiscal year we're in right now, we did not. So we didn't purchase a bus, and we took it out of the budget. But next fiscal year, we've actually went over a year, you know, making do and switching things around, and it's gotten to the point where, you know, our one special ed bus does the whole county now. She goes like 180 miles a day. So we're proposing doing that, you know, an east route and a west route, and get those kids to school. You know, some of them are getting on there at 10 till 6 in the morning, and it's 8:30 before they get to school. So we got to.
Can special ed funds be used for?
We can, but we're primarily using that for personnel. So, you know,
it's slappied up personnel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I'll make a motion to accept this.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
section up before 6. So we will hear those public comments now, and I would remind you that there is a time limit of 5 minutes apiece. The board does not take questions. We're simply here to listen. We had, I think, 5 people to sign up, so Debbie Simpson is first.
Yes, I'd like to speak on behalf of Wayne Sermons, the softball coach. I have followed the team. I'm not a parent. I'm a spectator. I have a niece that plays, and I'd like to speak on behalf of him on how well he's done with these girls, how dedicated he is, the time and effort that he puts into it. Well, I'd like to see him continue to be able to coach these girls in softball. Your consideration would be appreciated.
Thank you. Kate Simpson.
I have a daughter that plays softball, and I would like to see Wayne be the head coach of the girls softball team. She's played her freshman, her sophomore, her junior, and I'd like to see him coach her senior year. She loves him, and she doesn't want anyone else to coach. And Wayne is a good coach. He's over 100%. And I'd like for you to consider him as the head coach.
Thank you. Mary Folsom.
Never mind. We signed it by mistake.
Okay. Chelsea Jones.
I can speak about Wayne Sermons too as a softball coach. I've played for him for going on 7 years now, because all the way from middle school, and we all like to see him come back. And he has been there for us, even though it's not softball. Outside of softball, he comes. If we call him, he's like, okay, and he's there. So, he's like a dad figure to a bunch of us, and he's always there no matter what. And he gives over, and you can't ask him.
Thank you. All right. Next we had an executive session. Is there a need for executive session?
So moved.
Got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'm assuming that's about personnel.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Any further discussion? If not, we'll call for the question. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
School. You have that list before you, and would ask that we're going to exclude Beth Fulgham, and we'll consider all the others. If the chair would entertain a motion to approve as recommended.
So moved.
Have a motion, Mr. Sermon, second, Mr. Chason. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Next, we'll consider Ms. Beth Fulgham recommendation.
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second? Motion and a second, Mr.
I
Chason.
recuse myself on this one.
Mr. Sermon's recused himself. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next, we have the certified staff for the elementary school. Chair would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Mr. Strickland, second, Mr. Locklear. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have certified staff for the middle school. We'll take those all as approved.
So moved.
A motion, Mr. Sermons, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Locklear. Any further discussion? If not, we'll call for the question. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Next is the certified staff for the high school. I would ask that we would exclude Brian Sermon for this list. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second, Mr. Chason.
I recuse myself on this
No,
one.
not on this one. This is for the whole
Oh, for the
list.
whole, okay.
Exclude that one. If there's no further discussion, we'll call for the question. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? And now, we will consider recommendation for Brian Sermons. I have a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion, Mr. Chason. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Strickland.
I do
Any further
recuse myself on
discussion?
this one.
Mr. Sermons will recuse himself from this vote. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. primary school classified staff. All right, we'll consider those. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
It's a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Not will call the question. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have elementary classified staff. I would ask that we exclude Pat Bowen from the list and consider others.
So
Just
moved.
have a motion, Mr. Strickland.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chason. Any further discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now, we would, for consideration of Pat Bowen,
So moved.
have a motion, Mr. Chason. Is there a second? Have a motion and a second, and Mr. Sermon will
recuse myself.
recuse himself. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Trying to make a playoff.
All right, and where are we now? She missed me up.
Classified staff, middle school.
Classified staff, middle school, and we'll take it whole. Chair entertain a motion to approve. Have a motion, Mr. Strickland, second, Mr. Sermons. Any further discussion? Not will call for the question. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Lanier County High School classified staff, we're okay. We'll consider as a whole.
So moved.
Have a motion, Mr. Chase, second, Mr. Sermons. Any further discussion? Call for the question. In favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? District office staff, have a recommendation. Consider as a whole. Have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion, Mr. Lanier. Have a second.
So moved.
Have a second, Mr. Strickland. Any further discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor, aye. Opposed? We have the Lanier list of bus drivers. Take as a whole. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have nutrition program staffing, and would ask that we exclude Marjorie Miller.
Take all these.
And we'll take all of them except for Ms. Miller at this motion. Is there a recommendation or a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion, Mr. Sermons.
Second.
Second, Mr. Strickland. On the next one, not this one. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, on a separate consideration, we will entertain the motion to approve Margie Miller as a nutrition program. Have a motion, Mr. Sermons, second, Mr. Chason. Mr. Locklear is going to recuse himself. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Next, we have the coaching assignments. We'll take them as a whole. Any further?
We need to take Kevin Moore's name, strike through Kevin Moore's name
Yep.
for golf, please.
Any further? Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Not, we'll call for the question. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have a resignation letter from Mr. Kroll. Chair will entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Call for the question, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is that it?
No.
No? Okay.
Next, on this page right here, we have the recommendation for the new hires.
Okay.
That page is not in there.
It's the very first page. We have it in order. If you go back and look at that, yeah. And look down to the recommendations. It's following the resignation.
All right, we need to recommend these 4 teachers first.
That this is the recommendation by those principals.
I make a motion that we accept these 4 new teachers.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call for the question. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Transfers, I'm recommending Cena Pike to be elementary school principal, Buffy Holbrook, elementary school assistant principal, and transfer Will Oliver to alternative school coordinator.
So we need to do that as a separate recommendation.
Can I ask a question here? Who was on your committee who recommended these as principal?
Me, Mr. Culpepper, and Ms. Serena Moore.
Can I ask them if they are okay with these recommendations, or do I just ask you?
Yes, sir, they're fine. Well, you can ask them, they're right here.
These recommendations, okay.
All right, we'll consider each one of these separate then. Consideration, assistant principal Buffy Holbrook. Chair, entertain a motion. Mr. Sermons, second.
Second.
Mr. Locklear, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Second is Cena Pike, principal, elementary school. Chair, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion, Mr. Locklear, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Sermons, any further discussion? Call for the question, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
And next is transfer to alternative school coordinator Will Oliver. Chair to entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion, Mr. Sermons, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Locklear, any further discussion? Not, we'll call for the question, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion passes. Anything else? That takes care of all the personnel contracts. Next is 7, which is the financials. Mr. Bennett.
Well, we're at 75% of the year complete at the end of March 31st, and we did receive a substantial check in March for local revenue. It was, I think it was about $1.5 million, so that brought us up on our revenue close to 75%, and everything on the revenue side is looking good. On the expenditure side, we're still looking very good. In April, be coming up our bond debt service payment, so there'll be some changes as far as we transfer to other funds, and then on our cash sheet where we have that money sitting in the 313 SPLOS fund, that will be paid out to service our debt on the bonds, and we everything's looking good. Just glad that the new SPLOS has been approved, so that will be kicking in right when this one ends, and everything that was very, very good.
Any questions for Mr. Bennett? Okay. I think that is the end of this agenda. Chair, entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion, second. Thank you.
If 4 members would take just for a minute, Mr. Warren's going to get the affidavit signed for executive session. Congratulations, Ms. Pike, Ms. Holbrook. Ms. Moore told me that she's already put a plate ready to put outside Ms. Pike's door to start putting things on her plate tomorrow.